Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 16 of the anime series Log Horizon. And as Jim Morrison of The Doors once sang, the time to hesitate is through. And by the end of this episode, no truer words have been spoken at this time. This was quite a suspenseful episode because we're seeing all of our main characters split apart. You know, they're all in different areas of the continent, and they have to have a telepathic conference, a teleconference, if you will, as conducted by Shiro, and it's something he's saying to everybody that's, he's going to develop it further in case of emergencies and situations like this. But they've all basically resolved that this is kind of a leftover from when this whole thing was a game, when this whole situation was actually a legitimate playable game, an MMORPG. This was one of the quests, one of the grand quests where people could get rare items and special stuff and everything like that. But the thing is, it's also very different because this entire world is, of course, very different. They've been finding out a lot of different things, and they've been focusing a lot of their time on leveling themselves up and trying to get accustomed to living in this world. So they've neglected all of those quests, and now it's, kind of biting them in the butt. And it's very interesting because, of course, we see all of these people really taking account of what's going on. It's not just one goblin horde. It's not just one demi-human horde crashing the beach where the Crescent Moon Alliance is stationed with all the younger sort of players or adventurers, if you will, to level them up and to help them better establish themselves in the world and become a fighting unit like we've seen them doing over the last few episodes. This is all about, an oncoming storm, if you will. And it's a lot of demi-human hordes, and even Nianta, who had been flying over, an area with a griffin, he saw another horde. They saw a horde basically coming to raid a village, and so there is a threat. There's an impending threat that all has to do with the mission of the Goblin King's return. And one of the characters notes how Shiro is very interestingly not himself in that usually he's very fast to come up with a strategy. He's very fast as if he has already considered all potential, unfolding avenues that things could go. Only this is something that has blindsided him, number one. And number two, he's still very much carrying the weight of the revelations of what death can do to you in this world. And I was wondering, as he's having this conference, is he going to bring it up? Is he going to say something? It seems even Akatsuki is, she says, "My lord," and then she pauses like she wants to implore him to say something about this. And, of course, finally he does reveal that when a person dies, they will lose memories. And it seems as though, in talking to Krusty, and everyone's concerned about this, of course, naturally, but they've pieced together loosely, without actually, observing the effects and everything like that and the after effects, that it seems like the memories they are losing is, in fact, from the world they hail from, where they originate from. And it does sort of support the suspicion I had in a previous video that they must be being sort of developed to adhere to this world, to make them more comfortable or more functional or more officially a part of it, so that they have to physically and maybe even mentally leave the world of old behind. Will they ever be able to return to it? I don't know. This may be the rest of their lives, this entire scenario. And that is foremost on Shiro's mind, so he's not very, assertive as far as coming up with a plan of action, something to put into motion. He's got to sort of consider and weigh all the variables, and what's very interesting is the person who comes to the fore in answer to this is Minori. She is somebody who has, in the last couple episodes, really stood up for herself and really kind of taken up the reins where Shiro's kind of dropping them back a little bit, and that's, pleasantly surprising, although she might be a little too impetuous for her own good. If she's thinking about actually defending towns and cities, of course they went to the one town that they saw the Goblin Horde was heading for, and they got there too late, and there was nothing they could do about it. But she has now since convened this idea for herself. We have to fight the goblins. We should take the fight to them. We shouldn't sit back and just defend ourselves. We should take them out. And this is a bold step, and it might be one that could lead to her undoing. And that's my only fear for her character, as well as the characters around her. There's still the mystery of, Rundle House. We have nowhere to go with that in this episode as far as, is there actually anything to it or not? If there are people of the land who can be warriors and such like that to match and even best the highest levels of human beings. So the question remains, what are they going to do? It does seem like Minori and her crew, and maybe even some of the fledgling Crescent Moon Alliance characters that we've been following, the older characters like now Sugu and stuff like that, may join her in her quest, and if the word gets back to Shiro, he may go along with it. We'll have to wait and see, and I'm really excited to see how this is going to unfold. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. If you're able to post, please realize that I can't respond to posts anymore, but I can read them, and I love hearing everyone else's theories and such like that. What your thoughts are, where the story is going from here on out, and otherwise, that'll be it for me on this one. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you later. Peace.